Hello and welcome back to Blood and Smoke. And indeed, where were we? We were actually attempting to secure Cyrenea, which I actually did that. And no one decided to attack it any further. As far as I'm aware, the enemy is at Lavinia Castle, as you might expect. They are attempting to besiege it once again. Now, I have created an additional vassal. There is another guy by the name of, I think I've actually just forgotten his name, to be honest. Valantos, I think his name is. Valantos the Robber. And I gave him a rather amusing clan name, because obviously when he becomes a vassal, you need to name the clan. And we do have a clan by the name of the Belliest. Because obviously we do have Mr. Mengus Ironbelly, and he is also, I don't actually know whether he's doing particularly well. He doesn't seem to be particularly active at the moment, which is a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, but you know, that's just how things are, I suppose. We'll just see what happens with him. I have waited here for a little bit of time just to kind of see. Velenor, there we go. That's him right there, as you can see. Velenor the Robber. But yes, as I said, I have given his clan a relatively funny name in context of receiving messages to do with the game. It is going to be quite funny, I think. Maybe it's going to be quite funny. I mean, we'll see, I guess. I mean, maybe it's not going to be that funny to you. I don't know, but I personally find those kinds of things quite funny. But we'll see. Maybe it's going to be cool. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to have to take this first. And what I really need to do is I really need to eliminate these catapults. I would prefer to eliminate the catapults because if we don't do that, we kind of have some issues with enemies just bombarding us. And it really makes a huge annoyance to me personally. So I'd kind of like to do that, despite the fact that I personally don't really like doing that. I think that going straight on in, hello. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah, I am going to be going straight on in. This is certainly not... Yeah. This is not exactly great. This is not exactly amazing right now, which is kind of unfortunate. Not much I can do. Not much I can do about it. So we're just going to have to do with this what we can, and oh no. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have some issues with this. I am not a big fan. I don't like this layout one bit. This layout is really, really harsh, in my opinion. Okay, yeah, so let's see what we can do here. Yep, there it is. There's the first massive bombardment that we're getting, and no doubt that is going to happen many times. Why didn't it shoot? I don't know. Okay. Oh, really? A full damage blunderbuss hit does not get us through the gate. That's actually kind of incredible. Okay, well, hello. That guy literally dropping down right there. He must be thinking to himself that he's Rambo of some kind. I don't even know. But no, that's not going to work. So, that's not going to work. We're just going to get our forces right on in here. I'm just going to tell them to hold position inside. This is actually going to be quite... I think this might actually be impossible for us, to be honest. I mean, maybe? Because we're going to have to deal with the fact that there are so many enemies just kind of standing there, ready to murder us. Let's actually just go for a charge. Let's just go for a charge right here. Hopefully that's going to work. Nice. Okay, I should probably get off my mount, but I'm a little bit worried about the reduced mobility, but I'm also worried about being the only person on the mount, where people just literally want to murder me. So, I think what I'm going to do is this. Don't get shot. Don't get shot. I'm hiding behind my horse. Nice damage. Yes. Nice damage from our companion right there. I'm going to run away. Don't get shot. Don't get shot. Okay. I can't reload just yet. Okay, reload now. There we go. Okay, let's see. Where are we going? We're going up there. We're shooting up there. That is good. That is fine. Shooting up there again. Nice, nice, nice. This is what we like. This is what we want to see. All right, here we go. Can I survive? Can I survive against all the odds? No. The answer is no. That's kind of unfortunate. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but I mean, we did our best. We did our best. Unfortunately, the enemy is now... Oh, no. Wait a minute. I think we should be fine as long as my forces don't... Ah, no. They're doing the annoying thing, aren't they? Yeah, they're doing the annoying thing. We should be okay, though, because as you can see, we've eliminated already 200. And there it is, 230 renown for us right there. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to mention something. Someone, I think, mentioned that... Yeah, well, shall we say, commented on the previous episode that I didn't take the rescue troops, or at the very least, I minimized a particular menu or whatever. And I just wanted to clarify that there are no troops here. There are no troops here. It says that there are troops, but there are no troops here. As you can see, if I press on this button right here, it does not work. You can see that this is grayed out, so that basically just means that there aren't any people there anyway. It does look as though this is, minimized by accident, and I 100% understand why you would think that, but I think that has to do with some kind of Bannerlord setting, or it could just very well be just a small bug or something like that. But yeah, as you could see, there is nothing. I can press on this and there is nothing there. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of clarify that, just so you know that I'm not actually just, leaving all of these amazing troops behind, because that would be a huge travesty, wouldn't it? That would be really terrible. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that. Anyway, we can now make our way through here. And this is Jogurys Castle. Jogurys Castle has now been taken, which is not too bad if I do say so myself. And now I'm going to just wait here for a little bit of time. Let's see if this guy decides... No, he's not deciding to go in. That is very strange, in my opinion. I would have expected him to be all over this. And yeah, so as you can see, Valinor is part of the Robert. I know. I thought that was funny just because some messages are going to leave out the, if you know what I mean. They're going to leave out the. So in other words, it's just literally going to be, your relation has increased with Robert. That sort of thing. That's the reason why I find that absolutely hilarious. So yeah, anyway, I'll just give this to Mengus. Valinor has Danustica, by the way. I gave him Danustica as his initial fief. I believe... Wait a minute. Yeah, Mengus has Cyrenea as well. So he has Cyrenea and Onira, and Valinor has Danustica. So yeah, hopefully that's going to work out really, really well for us. And indeed, that means that because we've got these wonderful, wonderful people, we might actually see them maybe start to be useful. That's the whole point. That was the whole reason why I was like, yeah, actually, let's do another one. Let's do another episode here, because I really actually kind of wanted to see how effective they would be in this mod, and it seems like maybe they're pretty good. Maybe they're pretty good. Oh, there's Mengus. He's running around. Oh my! Wow. Okay. Do you see how massive his army was already? I feel like it's a... Is it a cheat code whenever we get Mengus Ironbelly in the game? That's what it feels like to me. It feels to me like we have an absolutely amazing vassal every single time he is in the game in some way or another. And it's funny because I think if you have any Iron Belly, and that's something to talk about actually, because from what I've seen, any Iron Belly whatsoever is almost automatically going to be amazing. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't think that I think that must be a bug of some kind. It must be. I don't actually know, because whenever we have one of those, they're just amazing. They just do the utmost, basically, right? They are extremely, extremely strong. And they always seem to be the case. They always seem to be that way. Which is really weird. I actually don't know why that is. But, yeah, well, I guess it doesn't matter too much, because well, yeah, they're on our side, of course. They're on our side, and they're actually doing a nice job there. There's Lorgand. He is from the Billiest as well. So, yeah, he's obviously going to be doing a fantastic job too, if he takes after Mr. Ironbelly at all. And I can only hope that they're going to do a great job in general. As you can see, Lavinia is actually under siege by who, though? Ah, by the Azarai. Okay, well, that's obviously a problem, isn't it? Because I was kind of hoping that we would have a bit of a, you know, crushing the Southern Empire result. You know, kind of on our hands soon. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And, you know what? Actually, I'm going to do something. I'm going to call for an army, because I don't do that ever. Hello, there's Mengus. I can't call this guy? Why not? Why can't I call that? Why can't I call that guy? I have no idea. Why can't I call him? That is what is going on here? See, this is what always happens when I create vassals out of companions, especially in such a late stage of the game. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Weird stuff tends to happen with their party sizes and things like that. I'm assuming that there is something going on, as in like a bug of some kind, because there's no way this guy should have 400, but he does. So yeah, I'm gonna actually just let him. I'm gonna just let him help us. Why not? Just let him help us, and then we'll see what we can do here. So, gonna get the siege camp up and running, and we're gonna try and see if we can witness the greatness that is Mr. Mengus Ironbelly in combat. Okay, so we are now in a field battle, as you might expect, because the opponent really wanted to attack us. And from my perspective, I feel as though, no, you know what, this is not allowed. This is a little bit illegal, isn't it? Yeah, no, I'm obviously joking, but the fact is they really do want to attack us super hardcore, and, well, I have Mengus Ironbelly with me, so I'm very much hoping he's going to show us what's what. He obviously does not have a blunderbuss or anything like that, so he is not really going to... I don't know, he's probably not going to be able to do too much, but he'll probably do what he can. And I can just hope that I will be able to inflict maximum pain and maximum damage against their wonderful, wonderful forces here. It doesn't seem to be, well, working too terribly. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the main problem that we're going to have right now is the fact that the enemy cavalry... What? He actually killed? Does he have? Wait a minute. Does he have? I don't think he has any kind of ranged weapon. Not unless he got himself a ranged weapon. Do you think he got himself a ranged weapon? I don't think so, right? I don't think they can do that. Maybe they can. Oh, wow. If that is indeed the case, that's actually pretty crazy. So, yeah, that would be amazing if he could. Okay, I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered here, so I have to be a bit careful. Ow. Thank you. I love getting poked in the face by very sharp objects. That's not exactly nice. Okay, here we go. Nice. There we go. I knew that one was going to be good. Oh, yeah. I knew that one was going to pay off. Oh, look at that. As soon as we move into range, this is exactly what happens. It's crazy damage. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell these guys to move a little bit forward here, tell these guys to go into an auto-delegate on the cavalry and things like that, so that they can just continue to inflict maximum damage as much as possible at the very least. And I'm just going to try and stay at the back here. And we'll try to do our utmost to not die, because we can very easily die here. Ooh, they're getting some reinforcements already. As you can see, we've already eliminated about 200. Or 150, more like. And Mengus is actually getting kills, if you can believe it. Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know where he is, though. That's the thing. Didn't I tell you guys to actually do something? Didn't I tell them to do something? Huh. Okay, apparently I didn't tell them to do something accurately enough or something, I don't know. Bit strange. I think if we can eliminate their cavalry and literally just continue bombarding every single one of these musketeers and the pikemen and so on and so forth that just generally tend to run straight on into the cannoneers, then this is pretty much a done deal, or at least I think it must be. I actually am very surprised that we're still alive, to be fair, because I have shot almost 20 away from you know, my barrel and into the opponent's bodies, and actually I'm still alive, which is quite surprising. Usually that is not the case. Yeah, we got to be a little bit careful about the range on this thing as well. And it looks like this might actually be a retreat, which is, well, I guess kind of to be expected, to be honest, because we did have an overwhelming effect on the opponent here. And the funny thing is, I don't think I would even need to do much. I mean, yeah, sure, okay, fine, I killed 140, but Mengus and his party, look at his party! He has elite musketeers, he has ballistariuses. He's actually killed a significant amount. He actually killed 11 himself. Which, sure, okay, fine. In comparison to what we were capable of doing, well, it's not that much, right? You know, him killing 11. But for a companion, that is actually unheard of. Usually, yeah, usually they're going to be all over this. So, yeah, I mean, usually they're going to be all over the death sentence that is awaiting them, because they generally tend to like getting themselves killed really, really fast. So it's very striking that we are actually having someone such as him get some kills. And I very much appreciate that. I love that. I love seeing that. And now we just have a bunch of cavalry coming in. Kind of a bit weird that they're sending in the cavalry now. I would have expected them to send that in a much, much earlier time. But yeah, we can otherwise, literally, you know what? I'm going to speed things up. Let's actually see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. I mean, maybe I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I'll kill myself actually doing that. So I should probably be a little bit careful with it. But yeah, you could see here, look at the utter slaughter that is going on right now. And I think we can probably, yeah, no, I could probably just zoom to the end, because I'm pretty confident that they will, yep, there it is, there's the retreat. I thought it was just moments away, because, yeah, I mean, come on, it was pretty obvious. 47 renown, though, 47 renown only. Very, very sad, actually, that we are getting such a, well, such a minuscule amount of renown for such a, well, I'm going to say it, kind of a difficult fight. Like, yeah, you know, just imagine we did this and we did it without a blunderbuss, or we did it without any firearms whatsoever. I feel like it would be almost criminal to not give us more renown. You know what I mean? Because it feels like we are, well, we would be struggling. We would be struggling, and we would have to play extremely, extremely well here if you know, didn't have extremely powerful units, of course. Because we do have pretty powerful units as it is. I mean, obviously, I'm running around with literally 95 Azeran Elite Janissaries. I also have 29 Azeran Grenadiers and 57 Azeran Cannoneers, as well as some Imperial Ballistariuses, and obviously a number of random miscellaneous troops. But the fact still remains, we have very strong units. So yeah, okay, you know, if you were to translate that, you know, translate the you know, significant amount of tier 5s or whatever it is that we have, and then put those in the form of, I don't know, Nord Huskarls, or I don't know, Imperial Cataphracts, or Khuzate noble troops, you know, the veteran horse archers, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, if you were to translate it to that, you would also be dominating the battlefield, right? You'd also be absolutely slaughtering everything in your path, which is exactly the point, isn't it? That's exactly what we're trying to do. All right, so the question is, do I want to go for some more medicine skill? Sure. I don't know whether this is even, I mean, it's really not going to be that worth it, is it? I feel like it's not going to be worth it, but we'll do it. All right, so the question is, we've already got our siege camp up and running. They only have two catapults. So I think we should probably just go straight on in. Is Mengus okay? Yeah? He's at 93% HP. That's crazy. Okay, how is he at 93%? He must have taken almost 0 damage in that particular fight. He must have a ranged weapon of some kind. That must be what's going on here. Alright, so I'm gonna literally just put every single person with me, because I know my companions, they do not have any skills whatsoever. I mean, they do have skills, but they don't have as much as we do. So we're just gonna lead every single one of our forces here, and they're all spawning in the exact same place. Well, that's obviously my fault. I should have probably spread them out a little bit more. But I can only hope that the catapults will not take advantage of this situation, which they definitely will. But yeah, let's just hope, eh? Let's just hope. I'm gonna tell them to follow me. Okay, don't get shot. I did get shot, but that's okay. We don't have to really worry about it too much. Okay, yeah, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to tell them to hold fire real quick, because otherwise they are just going to continue firing at random things, and I need them to just get in here. That's it. I just need them to get in here. Nice damage. Nice damage. That's what I like to see. Oh, don't get shot, though. Don't get shot. Whew. Okay, there's quite a few people there. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to get off my mount. I feel like the reload speed is really super, super useful. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's what we like. All right, so yeah, every single one of our people is now getting inside, and this is actually hilarious, us coming in here like this. Okay, yeah. So we are now going to say, "You fire at will, friends. Yes, fire at will. And we will eliminate them beyond all measure." Yeah, you know, something like that. But yeah, we will hopefully do a relatively good job here. And I am unsure. Where are the... Okay. This is kind of interesting, actually, because I don't know where the enemies are. I mean, yes, I do know where they are, of course, because I can just hold Alt and I can see exactly where they are, but it's a bit strange that they would not adapt to the situation. Okay, yeah, so we got this. So this is going to be a little bit... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what they get. That is what they get. This is such justice right here. This is just such justice. It's actually hilarious. Because usually the AI is always having the upper hand in some way or another. They're always making things more difficult than they would otherwise need to be. But yeah, this is great. This is very satisfying. And let's see if I can do something more here. No, I'm not going to be able to do anything more with this. So we will just get our forces to follow me. And we will go around the back. Yes, we will go around the back here. Hello there, friends. Don't see me yet. Oh dear. They do. That's unfortunate. I need to stay alive. I'm sorry. I need to stay alive. It's very unfortunate that I'm not full HP here. Yeah, I need to get closer, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that. We're just going to have to move our forces into position here, and then just hope that I don't get shot by some random thing. No, it seems like we're actually doing okay here. Nice, just kill those. This is actually hilarious. This is one of the only times that I've kind of directly commanded a significant force inside a fief. Like, yeah, sure, I've done it before in a handful of sieges, but I would not be able to name them. I would not be able to name them just because they are so rare. Okay, what is actually going on here? Okay, so yeah, we need to go this way. Come on, friends. Come on, friends. Let's do this. Let's go. Are they actually doing it? Yeah, they are. Mengus, he does have an explosive. Oh yeah, I think I gave him some bombs, didn't I? Yeah, I gave him some bombs. Ah, that's what I remember now. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, so he does actually have some ranged. No. Don't die now, don't die now. Okay, I'm just going to tell my guys to charge in. And I'm going to get out of here. I am literally... Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, what a classic. Okay, don't get shot now. I am literally at, well, basically 1 HP. From what I can see. I don't really want to fire this. I think I need to go up there to be able to have more efficiency. Wow, that did not go well. Okay, that was not actually the best idea. At least I am still alive. I am still alive, but unfortunately, yeah, this is... Okay, no, this is okay. Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, we're still alive, actually. Yeah, no, we're still alive. Oh, no. No, we're not. We're not actually still alive. I shouldn't have named it, should I? I shouldn't have said, yes, we're alive. No, that is something that I should never say, because that is always what ends up happening. It's literally just like that. Oh yeah, I could technically take control of one of our forces here, I think. Couldn't I? Why am I only getting enemies? Are you serious? I'm only getting enemies? Are you joking? Okay. How do I actually see... I don't think I can actually go through any... Why is it giving me... Ah, there we go. Okay, now we can actually see our allies. Okay, so we could get a grenadier. I could... Oh, mace man. Mace man sounds pretty fun. Why is he a mace man, but he's using a sword? Come on now. What's up with that? Alright, well, whatever the case, we are now technically able to get kills. The unfortunate thing is... he does have a mace. Okay, that's good. I was like, wait a minute. He's a mace man, but he's using a sword. Yeah, what kind of travesty is this? Yeah, but now this is great. Now we can do some damage. I mean, obviously, I probably should have gone with a cannoneer, shouldn't I? That probably would have made more sense. But we are a heavily armored tank of a unit, so I think this is kind of fun. Because now we can go bonk on their faces a little bit. Oh, that is hilarious. I was attempting to thrust at that guy, and as you can see, my ally was like, oh yes, no, I'm going to get in the way. Yeah, that's kind of what happened there. But yeah, as you can see, we are absolutely 100% going to achieve victory here with very minimal casualties. I'm actually very surprised that we were able to... I mean, to be fair, we did do something pretty cool, I guess. You know, we actually had something happen where we were able to infiltrate with very minimal enemy resistance, and that was the entire reason why we had anything happen, to be honest, because we basically just got inside, had no deaths associated with the catapults. That made a huge difference, you know, because if we had the catapults firing at us when we were in such a tight formation, there is no way we would have survived. At least in my opinion. I feel like we would have had a really, really hard time with things. Obviously, I'm taking this mace man into some pretty difficult situations, and especially considering these guys all have knives, it's actually quite difficult to make this work because they are very fast. But thankfully he has amazing armor, so I mean the knives are just generally not going to do that much damage. You've seen their stats, they are not particularly damaging. And indeed, I think that is actually it, if you can believe it. Wow, Phycaon has just fallen. And I'm very surprised about that. Just because usually you'd think, oh yeah, no, a town's going to be pretty hard to take. But no, I think that because we obviously had Megas, you know, coming with us, and we did do some very unique, shall we say, tactic. And look at that, 200 renown for us right there. So now, this is actually something that I wanted to touch upon as well. Because if you think about how much we just got for the field battle, right? You know, because I was fighting against those guys. There was like, how many on the field? 600, 700 or something like that on the field. And I literally got 40? Something like that. I think I got 40 renown, or I don't know. I can't remember now how much, but it was a pitiful amount in comparison to doing a siege. And now I just want to, you know, draw to your attention here that there are no troops here. Yeah, there are no troops here. I just want to, you know, clarify that once again. But yeah, anyway, the point is, we're getting such a significant amount of renown from sieges that I personally believe that if you really badly want to, shall we say, level up your clan tier really, really fast, the best way that you can do that is literally just capturing a castle. And not even... You don't even need to, like, own it, you know? You don't need to give it to yourself. You don't need to try to, you know, become a vassal or create your own faction or anything like that. Just the sheer action of, you know, taking the thing is going to make a huge difference to your overall renown. Obviously, this is a really, really big deal because, I mean, the point is, are you going to be able to take it? You're right. You know, that's the first question, because many times there's going to be a question mark over that. You're going to be like, oh, am I actually going to be able to capture this particular castle? Because, well, most of the time the answer is going to be no. You're not going to be able to capture it because you're going to have such a significant amount of defenders, first of all, and second of all, where are the vassals? You know, because the vassals from that particular faction will probably go, ah, yes, look at that guy. He's attempting to besiege that particular fief, and we're not going to let him do it, right? They're not going to let him do it. So, you know, that's kind of the point, you know. But if all of this lines up, right? I'm talking about if every single thing, you know, fatefully lines up, you could easily get, you know, 300, 400 renown. And I'm not talking about, obviously it's not going to be easy, you know. Let me just reiterate on that. You know, I say easily, but I'm just saying, like, you know, more like, you know, is there another way that you can get 400 renown just by performing an action as simple as capturing something? And as I said, once again, it's not a simple thing to do, but I'm just using that as a, you know, as a term to denote how, you know, how cool it would actually be to, you know, normalize that kind of thing, because you'd be able to very easily gain clan tier almost instantaneously. Like if you were, let's see, what would you need to be? Clan tier 2? Yeah. I think clan tier 2 would probably do it. Because clan tier 2, you would have access to about... If you had a steward, if you had a decent quartermaster, you'd probably be able to do that with 80 troops, 100 troops. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty tough. That's gonna be pretty tough. That's the question, you see. I'm always thinking to myself, would they sally out? Would they sally out with 80 troops? Yeah, probably. You know, if you're facing a castle of 500, like you can see right here, and no, Mengus says no, so I'm saying no. We are not going to be making peace. Thank you very much. Look at my strength, by the way. Have you noticed how my strength has literally just multiplied instantaneously upon getting only a handful of vassals, right? Literally, only a handful of vassals. Only two clans have been added to the pool of supporters that we have right now, which is actually kind of incredibly good, to be honest. Let's go for mounted scouts. It's going to get me a little bit more party size, which is always nice. And we can otherwise probably just wait here for a little bit of time. I think what I will do is I will actually get my trebuchets up and running. Let's try to get those built this time, despite the fact that I think that Lamanon is going to attempt to interfere. All right, so I've already bombarded them for a little bit with one trebuchet, and now usually I'd go, yeah, no, don't do that, right? Because that's basically a way for you to very easily just take some siege bombardment casualties and then basically be like, yeah, okay, so I wasted my trebuchet. And yeah, that's usually the way it's going to go. However, in this situation, I actually feel like it was worth it, because what that one trebuchet was capable of doing was eliminating two, not one, but two siege engines. Which is actually pretty cool if you think about it, you know, because one trebuchet means that I was able to very quickly and easily avoid any potential messes in regards to the catapult, in regards to whatever else they had available, and it is, oh yeah, as you might expect, now very easy for us to get inside here. Look at this. I can literally just get inside. Hopefully we can kill these guys. Okay, that didn't really do as much damage as I wanted to, but okay. I'm going to get off my mount once again, because this is just... How can you say no, right? Boom. Unfortunately, I did not crouch before reloading, so it's going to take me just as long. There we go. Nice. Yes, yes, we're swarming the opponent. And this is also one of the main reasons why it's a good idea to definitely check your... definitely check your loadout, you know, definitely check your forces loadout, make sure that they are using swords. Obviously we do have spear rework as a submod in this, so we don't really have to worry too much about that, because generally then you're going to be having a pretty good time with pikes. You know, because these guys are using pikes and they're actually very effective at using them. Obviously, I am using an extremely powerful set of armor, so that's the reason why I'm not really taking that much damage. As you can quite clearly tell, we're really just tanking most of these hits, and that is obviously, you know, it's pretty clear why that is. You know, we are very much just having a great... Whoa, that was a nice hit. I'm surprised these guys are not retreating. And I believe that is it. Yeah, I think that that is 100% our victory here. And generally, you know, if I had switched to my two-handed a little bit earlier, I probably would have been able to get to 250. I doubt I'll be able to get to 250 now, but 250 would provide us with the final perk in the two-handed weapon tree, which would be pretty fun, you know, because generally whenever you're able to get one of your combat perks to a much higher level, or shall we say the final level, then you're actually going to be having a whale of a time, because it is just so fun once you see just how much of a performance boost those perks give you. And it's funny as well because, well, normally you wouldn't think so, right? Normally you'd think, oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna have the same kind of thing, the same kind of swing speed, the same kind of damage. And yeah, to a certain degree, some things don't really matter. Like some of the bonuses, shall we say, that you get are not really going to make that much difference dependent on the weapon you're using, right? Because if you look at the weapon I'm using right now, I'm using a massive two-handed axe, and most of the time I'm able to get one-shot kills. But in the case of that guy just there, where you saw me hit him, I hit him for 66 damage. If I had my, you know, my final two-handed perk, I would have done so much more damage and potentially just one-shot him straight up. Obviously, he had low HP, so it was a lot easier. But yeah, as you can see, look at this. Us just taking a castle, 304 renown, and we did this by ourselves. That's the reason why we got 304 renown and not, you know, 200 or whatever it was when we had Mengus with us. So yeah, but obviously we sustained many, many more casualties as a result of this. But for me personally, I do think that taking a castle is extremely lucrative just from a general perspective. You could literally just take one and then just leave. You know, who cares about it? Once you've gotten your renown, who cares? Because renown is pretty much the only thing in the entire game that cannot be taken from you. Which is another thing that I actually wanted to mention, because this is something that I talked about in basically my beginner's guide. It wasn't really anything super. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was actually useful. I don't know. Maybe it was useful. But anyway, the point is, I think it was quite useful because we did actually touch upon a variety of different subjects, and it was pretty much just how to start in Bannerlord in an hour, basically. You know, just it just kind of gives a whole bunch of different tips and things like that. And one of the things that I talked about was how renown is... Sure, okay, fine, I'm going to say something stupid now, but renown is important. And obviously, renown is important, but you can gain renown and then be defeated 10 times over. And you're not going to lose anything. You won't lose renown for being defeated. And that's the reason why, in many cases, and this is something that we've got to kind of remember a little bit here. I'm going to take Vandal because 25% armor penetration I think is slightly better, I think, for what we need to do, because we need to attack high armored opponents. And we're also going to get strong legs, just in case he falls off places. But basically, talking about renown, that's one of the things that they can't take from you. They can take gold from you, they can take troops, they can take influence. You can even lose influence. You can lose influence if you are a criminal of some kind, or if you do something that is untoward within your own faction. You know, you can lose influence. And renown is pretty much the only thing that you can't really lose. It's more of a state of permanence in the game. And so basically what happens is you are going to get a power curve of sorts, or more like a power level. What does the scouter say about his power level? Yeah, no. But basically, that's what I'm talking about when I say that renown. That's why when we go into a battle and we actually end up getting defeated, yeah, it sucks, right? It sucks to lose your troops and to potentially lose a fief if you're in a siege defense or something along those lines. But when it comes down to it, what are you actually losing? Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. You'll lose your troops. You'll probably lose a bunch of loot as well, which is very sad because some of the time, most of the time, I'm running around with a massive amount of loot. And it's very sad for us to, you know, get all of that gone. But you still have your renown. You still have the renown. You still have a significant amount of army size. And, you know, you obviously do have to get your companions back and all that stuff. But that's the reason why whenever I do anything in Bannerlord, I'm always thinking about, okay, how much renown am I going to get for this? You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason why I generally like these days, and this is actually quite a funny thing, if I'm going to attack something and I'm a, let's just say that I'm a mercenary, I'm most likely going to want to attack a castle. And why would I do that when I'm a mercenary if I can't claim it, right? Because obviously the fact is, most of the time when you conquer something, you want to claim it because you want fiefs, right? Because the end goal is obviously to try to conquer things. But actually, in my opinion, a really, really good way of going about things is just to become a mercenary. Just bide your time. Try to earn as much influence as possible because you want to be able to, you know, grow your army. You want to be able to grow your army, get your daily wages sorted out in regards to your economic strength. You know, maybe invest in a caravan or so. Maybe, you know, if you're willing to put up with the risk of that, of course. And then you go and you try to get all of your people to as higher level as possible. You want all these troops, right? You want all your troops to be, you know, tier 5 or higher if you're playing a mod that allows, you know, tier 6s and stuff like that. And then go for it. Go for a siege against a castle and see what happens, because in those moments you're going to get massive rewards. Even if you end up losing 90% of your army and you've spent a great deal of time leveling up that army, I get it. That's painful, but you've just gained, if you actually end up achieving victory, you've just gained 200, 300, 400, maybe even more renown from that particular endeavor. Obviously, it is extremely difficult to do that when you have a very small army, but with the right strategies like we've seen here, you can literally just go straight. I mean, obviously I am, you know, this is a bit of a, you know, a bit of an eccentric, you know, way to do things, because obviously we're using a blunderbuss, you know, we're using a blunderbuss to get inside to begin with. It is a lot more difficult when you're doing this normally, but, you know, as I said, that's the reason why you maybe need luck on your side. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I went on a little bit of a tangent there. Sorry about that. But I felt like it was kind of important to just, you know, talk about that kind of thing. But anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. As you can see, we've almost eliminated the Southern Empire. And I think we'll do one more episode. Yeah, we'll do one more episode and we'll see what happens with that, because I'd like to be able to call for an army with all of our vassals and maybe go on a bit of a besieging spree and try to take all of these towns in one fell swoop. Who knows, right? Maybe that will happen. Or maybe one of our vassals will take something by themselves. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.